Sometimes you need to focus solely on getting everything put away where it goes before you even think about deep cleaning. I'm Ronnie, and you're listening to Clean With Me, the podcast where I walk you through cleaning your house step by step. When you clean along with this show, you'll get more done in less time so you can spend the rest of your day doing what matters most to you. Thanks for joining me. In today's episode, we're going to pre-clean your house. And what I mean by that is the type of cleaning you would do before maid service arrived or before you started a deep clean. Okay, so we're going to get your entire house picked up and ready for a deeper clean, whether that deeper clean is going to be performed by a cleaning service or by you. The pre-clean is the first step. And sometimes when we procrastinate about cleaning, it's because we don't want to do the pre-clean. We view it as tedious. But if you move quickly, the pre-clean is not going to be as difficult as you may think. First of all, you're going to want to gear up for your cleaning session. Maybe you need to get your house smelling good. You might need to take out the trash and light a candle or start a wax warmer or an essential oil diffuser. Or if it's a nice day, you might want to open the windows and let some air start circulating through your house. But I don't want you to get sidetracked by starting laundry, because the focus is just to get everything picked up and put away. And this is important. Sometimes you need to focus solely on getting everything put away where it goes before you even think about deep cleaning. Now, in most of our episodes, we do dishes and laundry to keep your house functioning, but there may be areas in your home that just aren't getting picked up. Maybe your bedroom floor is cluttered. Maybe your laundry room's a mess. Maybe you're starting to store things in your living room or your kitchen floor. And picking up doesn't mean just clearing the floor. Even if there's nothing on your floor, you may have clutter on surfaces in your home, and removing that clutter is an important part of the pre-cleaning stage. I want you to imagine you're having a maid come over to clean, even if you're not. And if that doesn't motivate you, pretend you're hiring someone you know to clean the surfaces of your home, and that you want that person to think you're at least organized. Or you can envision yourself quickly moving through each room of your home, wiping down furniture, sweeping, mopping, vacuuming, and having it go super smoothly because there are no obstacles in your way. Think how easy that's going to be. Hopefully by now you've got your house smelling good and you're ready to go. Maybe you want to slip into some slides or put on some lace-up tennis shoes, or maybe you feel like cleaning barefoot. And by cleaning, I mean tidying. We're not going to do any actual cleaning in the strictest definition of the word. Okay? If you've been listening to the show for a while, you know that I do consider picking up clutter off of the floor cleaning. It's an all-encompassing term, but some people call that step tidying. I tend to call it a pre-clean. But what we're not going to do is dust or clean mirrors or scrub countertops or sweep and mop the floors or vacuum. Of course, you can do those things after the episode, but we're going to focus on the pre-clean or tidying aspect. And the first thing I want you to do is gather dishes from around the house. Gather up any dirty dishes. That could mean a glass or mug on your nightstand. It could be a cereal bowl on the table. It could be a forgotten dinner plate and fork in your teenager's room. I'm not going to have you wash those dishes because that would take away from our picking up. But what I am going to have you do is get those to the kitchen. Get those plates, bowls, and silverware into the sink. Maybe set the glasses next to the sink and get those items soaking if needed. Okay. Typically, when I'm doing a pre-clean like this, where I'm not going to start by washing the dishes, I will run some water over the plates, bowls, silverware, and kind of scrub them with a scrub brush. And then I'll fill one side of the sink with hot, soapy water. I realize you might not have a two-sided sink, but I'll fill up the sink with hot water and liquid dish detergent. And then I'll place those pre-rinsed items under the water. For the glasses, I don't like to submerge them with a bunch of other dishes for fear of something breaking. So I will just put a little bit of hot water and a drop of liquid dish soap in each glass and set them around the sink. That way, if there's kind of a ring at the bottom of the glass, that can start to dissolve away as those glasses soak. The other items, the small items that you found, on your nightstand or in some bedroom or on the table, can get submerged. The plates, bowls, silverware. Maybe you also have a dirty pot and pan on the stove. Rinse those out and fill them up with hot water and dish soap and get those soaking as well. One of my tips for dried on or baked on food is to drop a dishwasher pod into the pot. That's going to work even better if something is really dirty and you want to avoid scrubbing later. Let that pod do some of the work for you if you happen to have those pods on hand and you're generous with them. I realize they're expensive. Just make sure you go into every room of your house and get any dishes picked up. Maybe you have a large garden tub and you drink your coffee in the morning while taking a bath. Make sure you get that cup to the kitchen. Get those items soaking. Don't spend a lot of time on them. Just get them soaking in the sink or next to the sink. Once you've taken care of that important first step, I want you to start at your front door and start picking things up and putting things away. Now, if you feel super overwhelmed or you actually are expecting a maid or you're having company soon and you need to get your house picked up, but there's tons of clutter, you can resort to the laundry basket method where you grab an empty laundry basket and just fill it up. I only do something like that in an emergency. I've been known when preparing for a party where I was planning to do a lot of deep cleaning of the surfaces. I've been known to throw some things in a laundry basket or box and stick it in my closet. But for everyday cleaning, I don't like to do that because I would rather put things away as I'm walking through the house than be faced with a basket of items that I have to sort through. That's going to feel more overwhelming to me. Okay. But I'm just saying it is an option. Most of you, though, are probably going to just start buzzing around like a busy little bee. Maybe you have a bunch of shoes in your entryway and you need to get those put away in their more permanent spot, which is probably either the floor of your closet or in a shoe rack in your closet or in various closets if you have kids and some of the shoes belong to them. I do not keep any shoes in my entryway. Not my thing, not into it, but I know some of you do. So that's one possibility. When I'm starting at the front door and tidying up my house, typically the first thing I do is clear the top of my upright piano that I have in my entryway. You might have a different piece of furniture there. You might have a shelf unit of some sort. I definitely encourage you to have a launch pad of some sort where you can put things when you're getting ready to go somewhere. Okay, it could be a little table or shelf, but at the very least, you need a place to put your keys. Okay, for us, there's a key basket on the top of my upright piano. That's where the keys go. And some people have, of course, a little key rack, some type of wall hanging with hooks on it. Sometimes there's a mirror there to kind of check yourself as you're heading out the door. My version is that I have the key basket and then I have a mirror above the piano that I can look at as I'm grabbing the keys and heading out the door. Just be straightening your house while I talk, starting at the front entrance. But when I'm getting ready to go somewhere, I'll often place a tote bag on the piano bench, start putting things in it. Or if I'm carrying a small purse, I'll put it on the back of the piano. And sometimes things stay on my launch pad intentionally for a couple days. For example, if I'm planning to go to the post office a couple days from now, I would place the items that I'm mailing on top of the piano. But when I'm tidying up my house, I start thinning that down to just the items that belong there. The key basket, a couple of frame photos, my wax warmer and essential oil diffuser. I do need to move one of those. I'm thinking of moving the wax warmer to a different location in the house. But the reason I tend to keep it up there is I'm keeping it out of reach of my grandkids who are toddlers. 2 of them are toddlers, and those are the ones who live locally and come over a lot. Once you've straightened up the immediate front entrance, just continue on. Maybe there's a living room or family room you need to pick up. Make sure that the throw pillows are up off the floor. Clear anything off the end tables that doesn't belong. I mean, maybe you have a lamp and some coasters and a TV remote. Maybe you have a house plant on your coffee table or something. But let's remove anything that does not belong on those surfaces. And just because something's been there a while doesn't mean it belongs there. Don't let your clutter just become part of the decor. Okay? Pick up those living areas, and I usually start with the floor because I feel like the most egregious mess is when there's stuff all over the floor. But then the next step, of course, is to clear off your end tables, your couches, your coffee table, any other pieces of furniture. Don't worry about them being dusty. We're not doing any of that kind of cleaning right now. We're just pre-cleaning or tidying. Maybe there are some toys that need to go into your living room toy box, or maybe there are some toys that don't belong in the living room. And I realize not all of you are in a season of life where you're dealing with toys. You may have pet toys. What's your system for pet toys? Do you grab your dog's bones and things and place them on top of the dog kennel? Do you have a pet toy box? Even those who don't have small children or pets might need to pick up their shoes from the living room floor or hang up that sweater that's draped over the couch. If you need more time, pause the episode. But when you're moving quickly to put things away, grabbing 2 or 3 like items that go in the same room and quickly putting them away, it's amazing how fast your house gets tidied up. Especially when you don't let yourself get sidetracked by thoughts about laundry or dusting. Let's just stay focused on getting your floor and furniture cleared off. Maybe there's a hallway that needs to be picked up. Usually the hallway is relatively clear, but sometimes there are items in the hallway that need to be picked up. Grab anything like that. You might also have a staircase. Maybe you've been placing things at the bottom of the staircase that need to be taken upstairs. now's the time because you need to get those stairs vacuum ready along with the rest of the house. And I realize I can talk faster than you can pick up, but I don't know the layout of your house or what you're dealing with. I'm just giving you some ideas. Don't feel like you have to be doing exactly what I'm talking about. The goal is just to keep moving. Now, we got all your dishes to the sink, but what about your countertops? Are there items that need to be moved to the sink because they are also dishes, pots, and pans? Chances are you already dealt with things like that, but you may have some items out that just don't belong. Okay. For example, I just threw away a package of water bottles. We were keeping it on the island so people could just grab water bottles out of it. There were only a couple water bottles left, so I took them out, threw away the packaging. That made the island look a lot better. My kids are notorious for leaving seasonings out. I typically just put those in the spice cupboard, and I put away any cereal boxes or any other items that have been left out on the counter. And sometimes I'll grab something like an air fryer or stand mixer and put it where it goes, its long-term storage spot. Okay. You may have some excess appliances that you don't use every day that you need to place in a cupboard somewhere or in your pantry. I like to keep my bottom shelf in the pantry clear of food so that I can use it to store appliances that I'm not using. And of course, you may have some items on the kitchen floor. Maybe you set down a grocery bag of non-perishable items and just left it there. Now's the time to put those items away. Once you're done picking up your entryway, your living areas, your kitchen, the next thing I want you to do is pick up your bathrooms. Go into the bathroom, pick up any towels off of the floor. Take out the bathroom trash if it's starting to overflow. Get down on your hands and knees and look for any items that have fallen on the floor. Remember, you're pretending that a maid is coming. You don't want her to have to make stacks of items, little piles everywhere, like, here's everything I found on your bathroom floor in a little pile. And it's just a bunch of random miscellaneous items. No, you don't want her to have to do that. That's awkward. Let's get the floor picked up. And I realize chances are, if you listen to the show, you don't hire a maid. But imagining that can help you be more thorough in picking up. And you're going to repeat this in your other bathroom if you have more than one bathroom. And not just the floor. Of course, you're going to clear off any items that don't belong on the countertop. Is there makeup that needs to be placed in a drawer or in a basket? Are there curling irons that are not hot right now, so they don't necessarily need to be sitting out? Curling irons, flat irons, waving irons, whatever other products, wands, whatever you want to call it. We'll just call them curling irons. Let's get those put in the cupboard under the sink or in the basket that they go in if you don't have storage space underneath. Obviously, you have somewhere that you put these items. Your bathroom countertops should not be covered in things. I mean, you probably have a toothbrush holder. You probably have a soap pump, a hand towel. It's either laid out or hanging on a little bar. Maybe you have a dish for small items like earrings. Maybe if it's a large area, you have a decoration or two, but let's clear off anything that doesn't belong and quickly put it away. Don't overthink it. Just get it stored out of sight. See how quick that was to clear your bathroom floor and straighten up the vanity area? Pause the episode if you have like 3 cluttered bathrooms and it's going to take you longer, but for a lot of you that part didn't take long at all. Next, I want you to head to your laundry room. Maybe you have an overflowing hamper in there, or maybe you're just starting to pile lint on top of the dryer because the container that you keep lint in got too full. We all have different areas that we tend to neglect, and for some of you, it's the laundry room. Get that lint thrown away. Or even if you're putting it in a container, maybe you need to empty that container. Maybe your laundry basket or hamper is overflowing and you need to clear that off. Now's not the time to wipe down your washer and dryer. You're just picking up. Maybe you need to dispose of an empty detergent container. And one thing it does when you force yourself to just pre-clean without actually cleaning, so to speak, it kind of gets you excited about cleaning. I mean, this may sound strange, but when you clear off the surface of your washer and dryer and the laundry room floor, you'll realize how dirty that room is, and you'll be looking forward to spraying down those appliances, sweeping and mopping the floor and really shining it up. But resist the urge to do that now, because we're going to head to the bedroom. And of course, at any point, pause the episode if you need more time in an area. The first thing you're probably going to want to do, resist the urge to change your sheets or anything right now, because we're wanting you to just tidy up. And if you were hiring a maid, they'd probably wash your sheets. Maybe. It just depends what's included, but let's pretend they're going to. Quickly make your bed. Don't overthink it. This could be just smoothing out your comforter as best you can, in 30 seconds or something. I don't know about you, but we don't always use a top sheet. We try to, but sometimes when we're in a hurry, we just put on a clean bottom sheet and a clean comforter, and we're good to go. Especially since we have one of those duvets that can serve as both a sheet and comforter. But let's face it, any comforter can. Maybe you need to smooth out a top sheet. Maybe it's just a comforter. But I want you to make the bed super quickly without putting a lot of thought into it. This isn't the time to organize throw pillows and whatnot. The next thing I want you to do is clear your floor. You may have clutter on the nightstands, but remember, clutter on the floor is the most egregious mess. Let's quickly pick up the floor. And lest you feel overwhelmed, realize that things on your bedroom floor fall into categories. Okay? Get all the dirty laundry into your hamper, or if you don't have a hamper in your bedroom, take it to the laundry room. I definitely recommend having a hamper in your bedroom or your master bathroom. I keep my hamper in a position that's right next to the master bathroom, but it's still in my bedroom, so it's just a nice central location. That way, if I get undressed in the bathroom, I don't have to walk far to put those items in the hamper. So dirty laundry is one category of items on your bedroom floor. Another category is shoes. Get those into your closet. Trash. You may have some trash. When I talk about trash in my bedroom floor, it's usually items that one of our dogs stashes under the bed, like empty water bottles and things like that. I do have a couple waste baskets in my room, one on my husband's side of the bed, one on my side of the bed. Quickly throw away any trash that you find in your room. Maybe you have items on the floor that belong elsewhere in the house, a kid's toys that need to be removed from your room. It should not take you that long to pick up your bedroom floor. If it does, you might be putting too much thought into it. You might be getting sidetracked and wanting to fold a pile of clean laundry. Just consolidate it so that most of your floor is exposed. Hopefully it's contained in a basket, but if it's not, if you have fold more in the corner, shove it tightly in that corner just for now to consolidate the mess. And of course, if you were having a maid over, you would probably want to get that picked up off of the floor. But progress over perfection, folks. If you're just pre-cleaning for yourself, I don't want you to get sidetracked by clean laundry. Maybe you have a few items draped over a chair that are clean and you just need to quickly hang those up. Go ahead and do that. And of course, you may have some surfaces to clear in your bedroom. You're probably not going to get to all of them during this episode, but clear anything that doesn't belong on the nightstand. I know you already brought the dishes to the kitchen, but you might have some other clutter on your nightstands that needs to be relocated. A book you've finished reading. What's the long-term storage system for books? Do they go on a bookcase? Do they go on the shelf in the top of your closet? Do they go in a drawer? You probably aren't reading that many different books at once. And you may have a really bad clutter magnet in your room, whether it's the surface of your desk or the surface of one of your dressers. That's okay if you don't get to that one surface today, but I want you to clear most of the upper surfaces once the bedroom floor is picked up. And I realize that there may be an area in your home that I didn't mention, but I feel like I mentioned the main ones. I talked about your entry area. I talked about living areas. I talked about hallways. I talked about your kitchen, your bathrooms, your laundry room, your own bedroom. Maybe you're responsible for another bedroom. You need to pick up the bedroom of a small child or pick up your guest room. Whichever room you haven't walked into yet, it's time to go in there and pick up the floor first and then do as much as you can as far as clearing surfaces. We're going to wrap up the episode soon, so hopefully your house is almost picked up. I am going to be recording a bonus episode later this week. Special thanks to those who are already supporting the show financially, which unlocks those bonus episodes. You can do that through Apple Podcasts, Patreon. To learn more about that, visit cleanwithmepodcast.com or click on the link in the show notes. I appreciate that more than you know. And unlocking those bonus episodes allows you to get on the full program and have some longer cleaning sessions. And I get a little more up close and personal in those episodes. And let's face it, you need more than one episode per week to get your house clean. I know I used to do 2 regular episodes plus a bonus, but lately it's the Monday episode that's free plus a bonus episode. And the day that the bonus episode comes out kind of varies. But I realize that not everybody is able to subscribe. Even just listening to my free episodes on Mondays helps me. So I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you got your whole house picked up. If you still got the time and energy, listen to another episode and actually wash your dishes, do your laundry, and deep clean your surfaces. Or maybe you're just glad to have your house decluttered and you're ready to take a break. That's fine too. Just be sure to do those dishes before you go to bed tonight. Getting down to dish 0 every night is a game changer, so I encourage you to try to do that. As always, happy cleaning. I'll talk to you in the next episode.